This is a project diary for my master's degree major study. This is a series of illustrations for a novel by a Russian author called Pelevin, called Batman and Apollo. I'm currently doing the first mock-ups of the illustrations. I've already done one, and this is the second variation of the first illustration in the book. I'm doing them in pencil, but ultimately there will be a mixture of graphite pencil and colour pencils. The reason I'm doing several mock-ups is because I'm not entirely sure of how I want it to look, so I don't want to commit to doing finished illustrations before I know exactly how they should be. I've only illustrated one book before this, and what I've learned is the more you spend on preparing all the images and all the preliminary designs, the better outcome you get. I've spent about a quarter of the time on collecting different designs for all the items I wanted in that previous book. It was about ancient Japan, so there was a lot of reference material to go through with regards to fabrics, haircuts, all the everyday objects. You couldn't really make that stuff up, you had to look it up. With this project, it's based in Moscow, which is where I'm from, so all of the things are familiar to me. First thing I did after deciding to illustrate this book, I read it all over, and I had this little notebook where for every part that looked like I could do an illustration to that, I would write out all the descriptions of everything in that scene, the surroundings, what the characters were, all the relevant visual parts of it. And that's referenced to the beginning where it says on which page I have which illustration, sort of a short name for it. And here I have a page in the text in the book itself to which it refers to. So when I decide to do an illustration, let's say this one, I had it roughly sketched out and a description of all the objects, of what the makeup is on this face and how the body is positioned and what all the other characters are doing. It just makes it a lot easier than having to go back to the original text. Now putting the final details on this illustration. I'm pretty happy with the way it's turned out, and I think the final one that I'll do in colour will be very much like this. Unfortunately, I cannot just colour it in. I've tried it before, but the graphite, when it goes over colour pencil, it looks really good. If you try to put the colour pencil over the graphite, it smudges it and it loses all definition, it becomes really messy. So, despite the fact that I would pretty much do it like this, I still have to draw it again. Which shouldn't take as long, really. So the left hand side of illustration is now done. It does differ from the sketch that I've made initially, because I've decided to put more of that hair arrangement in. I was forced to push the heads down a bit, which left me with less space in the corner, which kind of worked out alright, I think. So what I have to do now is put this side in. And mind you, I'm quite happy with the way it is, so it should be pretty straightforward. I won't have to change things much. So let's see how that goes.